Welcome back to the pregame with your night nurse. I'm here at the Pink Mission Summit. We're wrapping it up for the day. I have Ms. Nia Bailey here with me. Today was awesome. It was definitely very empowering seeing so many different faces, so many different ages, so many different women telling their stories and different age groups. We all carry a lot of different times, and it allowed us just to come together as a woman, not all of the other hats that we wear. Now, you are in the medical professional.
Yes, I'm a radiation therapist.
Okay. So today you were here more so about the being more proactive in the early prevention and things like that. Can you talk to me a little bit about it?
Absolutely. So first of all, thank you so much for having me on this wonderful podcast. This
Yes,
is phenomenal.
girl.
Okay. But absolutely, it's always important. We talk about treatment, we talk about so many other things, but we never talk about prevention.
Right.
So there's actually an acronym that highlights the prevention of breast cancer, and it's BRENDA.
Okay.
So B is for breastfeeding. So you want to breastfeed for at least about a year if you can. No pressure, but if you can, please do that.
Okay.
R is reducing your sugary and alcoholic intake.
Okay.
So I love lemonade, but I should not be drinking it every day.
Or our drinks on the weekends. No, we got to cut that out.
Coke and crack.
Okay, we go. All right.
Okay. Yeah, not as much. I mean,
Right.
I mean, you have to be realistic too. You have to, I can never tell people not to drink, but
Right.
just reduce it a little bit, right?
Moderation.
Exactly. Eat is for eating healthy, right? You always want your plate to look colorful. So I'm from West Philly. I love cheesesteaks. I could really have a cheesesteak every Friday. Like that's
Okay.
almost like a gift to myself, but it's not.
We're not
really.
we're not gonna gift that every week.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
All right. Okay.
Eat healthy as much as you can. N is for nutritious foods. Oh, so E is for exercising. Lord have mercy. It's a long day. But
okay.
So eat nutritiously, exercise. You want to at least exercise about 30 minutes a day.
Now, when we say exercise, I'm going to play the devil's advocate,
Go
right?
ahead.
So when we say exercise, your exercise definition may be different to me.
Correct.
I might say I can go to the gym for 2 hours and I can hit some cardio, I can do some legs, I can do some this. What is a common good place that people can use as a judgment for
Walk.
those that are not as active?
Walk.
Okay.
It can be a brisk walk.
Okay.
You can, because I'm not doing weights. I don't have the time.
Okay.
I want to sit down.
Oh, so okay,
Just walk.
okay.
That's categorized as exercising.
Okay.
D, do not smoke.
No, that was a whole thing.
Cigarettes, don't.
Okay, no.
Hopefully my mom doesn't see this. I've done hookah
Okay.
quite a bit.
But we're grown. You're allowed,
Yeah.
and you're doing it responsibly.
Sure.
So let's add that. We're doing it the way you're supposed to
absolutely.
do it. Okay.
For pictures and okay. But
For the gram?
yeah.
Okay.
But it's obviously not good.
Right.
Okay. And A, achieving a healthy body weight for you. So everybody knows pretty much when you feel your healthiest and what weight that is. So all those things, Brenda, the acronym, decreases your risk of getting breast cancer.
Okay.
So those are the things that, sort of was highlighted today.
Yes.
And just talking to some phenomenal women who they have breast cancer. They don't look like what they've been through.
Right.
And they're doing it. They're educating the community, which is important.
And that's very important because let's get back to that statement. What does looking like something mean exactly?
I think the media or something, you think of breast cancer, so you think no hair, you think tired, you think desquamation, erythema, you just think things that do happen, but a lot of people always say, especially women, when you look good, you feel good.
Yes.
So although they are tired and they are in pain, when they put on their wigs and their makeup and this, people don't think you have cancer or you have stage 4, you have stage 3, you have stage 3C. And I think people don't know that you can still look good but still have cancer.
Okay, so now let's delve in a little bit. What are some of the ways, other than a mammogram, because we did discuss that here, and I just want to bring it full circle.
Yeah.
What are some of the ways that we can have this early detection?
Absolutely. So, Dr. Quarterman said something very powerful, that you have to have a reason to get a mammogram. So for myself, I had a family cancer history.
Okay.
I knew my family cancer history. I took it to my doctor. They put it in a calculator for my risk assessment.
Okay.
And if you have something greater than 20%, you are then able to get certain screenings.
Okay.
So that's important just to say. But there's an ultrasound. I know my cousin Kia, she detected her breast cancer through ultrasound.
Okay.
The 3D mammogram.
Yes.
Breast MRI. And there's also something called a DEXA scan, because some people don't want to get a mammogram because it squeezes your breast.
Yes, it
and
does
it's
hurt.
very
It's uncomfortable.
uncomfortable.
Yep.
Yes. So you literally lay down. They put, it looks like a mouse.
Okay.
And they scan it over your breast.
Okay.
And the waves can detect some type
Large masses. Okay.
and then from there, they'll then maybe do an ultrasound, something less uncomfortable. So they're trying to find ways that are more mobile because
Yes.
you have to go to a place that has a mammogram, but because that DEXA scan is just like a mouse, it can come to you.
Right.
So they're trying to find something less intrusive.
Less invasive,
Yep,
yes.
mobile, and just for people to understand, like, okay, you may have to do additional testing and get people to come out that way.
Right.
So there's several different screenings and tests that can happen for you to determine if you have something or not.
And that was something that I didn't know. Like you said that there was you went to your doctor and they can do a percentage. That's something that a lot of people don't know because a lot of times, like you said, there could be family history or they could be predisposed to it and they don't know how to go about it. And let's be very honest. When we hear of breast cancer and we hear of those diagnoses, it's very scary. It's very makes you uneasy. Even sometimes having to go and get a mammogram. I know myself, I had to get a mammogram and they found a mass. And then it was like, oh, well, now you got to get it 3D. That whole process can be very uneasy and make you very unnerving. So something that I had heard you guys talking about is just having that village or that support, that place or that person to be able to go to. It's important. It's very, very important. So you, like you said, you have a family member who, and matter of fact, multiple family members because you said it runs in your family. What did today do for you? Being on this panel, being a part of that, being able to stand here with these women that were in it or going through it or thriving, surviving, what did that do for you?
It proved that we really need to get the information out there, not just for our families, but for the village, for our community. You are not a hypochondriac. If you know something's wrong with your body, keep pushing for it. Even genetic testing, like even if the cancer does not run in your family, that does not mean that you don't have...
That you don't carry the gene.
Exactly.
Yes, ma'am.
So I did genetic testing, and though I don't have BRCA1 or BRCA2 that increases my risk, I do have a gene BCL6 that increases my risk for lymphoma. So I get additional screenings for that.
Okay.
So it's important, even if you don't know your family cancer history, because typically our culture doesn't talk about that.
Yep.
They
It's
die,
it's taboo. It's taboo. It's
so
very
you know
much
that
so
for
taboo.
yourself, and then I know this for my nieces. I don't have children yet, but I'll know that for them. So, it did all of that. It just confirmed that this forum was so important.
Yes, it was so good. It really, really, really was good. Now, you gave some information about Brenda. You told us about some of these different testing that could be done. Could you give my listeners a few places that they could go look? Because like you said, a lot of times we don't know, we don't act because we don't have that information or we don't know where to go find it. In our community, it's like you said, it's not talked about until it's almost, the person has it and they're fighting, So definitely getting ahead of it is something that's important. But where are some places that they could go to find this information? If you would tell my listeners, I would love it.
Sure.
Some sources.
Absolutely. You can go to your local hospital. Just go into the hospital, say, I need help. You can talk to the social worker. They can provide you with some information and tools. You can also go on the website. There's Touch, the Black Breast Cancer Alliance. They have so many options. My Density Matters when you figure out the density of your breast, whether you have A, B, C, or D, and that determines if you have additional screening. And Cora AI talks about different clinical trials that Black people typically do not talk about, but it's very important because clinical trials allows us to know how to treat the diseases in our body. So right now, that's why we're dying, because they don't know how to treat what's in our Black and brown bodies. So those type of resources I would definitely tap into because they'll get the information that they need.
So, like I said, we're coming to the end of the show. Today has been a long day. I appreciate you for coming. Like I said before, this was Black Girl Magic at its best. We were here to support each other. We were here to talk about the uncomfortable topics. We were here to get the information so that we could take it back. If everybody that left here took one thing from here and took it somewhere else, our job is done.
Yes.
And that feels good being in the medical profession. Yes. So I want to say thank you. I appreciate you for coming. I appreciate all you do for our Black and brown sisters and getting this information. I appreciate you for supporting those that are going through it. And that's it for tonight. Have a great night. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.